Hey guys, Brian here at thebasscast.com. We got Bobby Lane with us, Redcrest 2025. How you feeling first of all, brother?
Man, I'm telling you, it's Guntersville. How can you not be excited to be here? I mean, this lake, the history, the past champions were in an interview room just earlier. Me, Edwin, Brian Thrift, and Dustin Connell, who's won 2 of them. And we were all talking about the history of Lake Guntersville. Like, there's so many tournaments that have been fished here. There's so much knowledge here. The lake is healthier than it's ever been. There's more big ones in the lake, and it doesn't matter how much pressure you put on it, man. You got to get out there and catch them. And you know, we had 3 days of practice, so hopefully we're all going to start on our best stuff tomorrow. And if mine's firing, I'm hoping to be right up there with the rest of them.
What were some of the things you did find during practice you think going to help you make it to the knockout round?
So I kind of took a two-stroke approach, basically, right?
Okay.
I looked for pre-spawn and I wanted to look for spawn. Of course, not post-spawn yet because it's still pretty chilly. A lot of fish are starting to swim around on the bank, but this is Guntersville and they always like to stay out also. So I looked for some pre-spawn fish. I found a pocket that had a bunch of fish in it, schooling. They were chasing bait. They were easier to catch when the water was cold, of course. Now, since then, the water's come up a foot. I think it's coming up a little bit more, and it's warming up. So who knows what's going to happen in the morning to that spot. And if that don't work, I got some backup stuff. We'll just try to make hay while we can.
You know, talking about winning and being a part of that, how history can play a role in tournaments, and sometimes history can be bad in tournaments.
Yeah, you know, I think all the guys that live here on Lake Guntersville, which there's quite a few, or around this area.
Like 90% of the field.
Like 90% of the field. A lot of knowledge can be a good thing. This is a tricky time of the year, though. This is the 1st of April. These fish are wanting to spawn. They're the hardest fish to sight fish that you could ever imagine. Guntersville's known as a dragging lake. You fish real slow in one area. The problem is if you're not in a good area, you're not going to catch them. Or if a local just went through there and seined them all. When they start catching them, they love to jerk on them. And trust me, I'm not saying anything about locals. I think it's wonderful. You can go right behind them and catch them, and they can come right behind you and catch them. There's hundreds and thousands of them out there every single day. It's honestly, I can't believe a lake with that many, that just keeps producing that many fish over and over again. This Guntersville TVA system is healthier than I've ever seen it. And, you know, if the guy makes good decisions and tries to get in the right rotation, or, you know, kind of like Florida fishing. If you're not around a crowd, you're usually not around fish. The thing about Guntersville, you can find something on your own, but it's probably not the good stuff.
All right, you had one rod, one reel tied on. What's going to be on the end of that bad boy?
Man, I tell you what, that's a 2-part question.
Okay.
If I had one rod and one reel, if the weather was slick calm and I had the whole lake to myself, I would have a wacky 5-inch green pumpkin general on, and I would go fan cast that thing around every white spot in every creek, and I would have a good tournament. Wind's blowing, everything's crazy. I'm tying on a Stunna 112 jerkbait, and I'm turning that active target 2 on, and I'm going to go out there and scope every fish I can, and the pre-spawn fish moving up, getting ready to spawn.
Right.
So jerkbait, wacky worm.
Good luck to you tomorrow, brother.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir.
Talking to basscast.com.